here to tell you a little bit about the great things God has done in our country. We have seen thousands of people praying for the orphans, for the vulnerable children.
It will be celebrated across Africa and beyond. This is where the church, Christians, will be putting their faith into action.
On this day, we just want to celebrate the children. We just want to show them the love of Christ. We just want to tell them that Jesus loves you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten.
We are rallying churches, businesses, and organizations across the state to make a difference in the life of a child.
Orphan Sunday is very personal to me because through this initiative, we became foster parents. Then, after that, we became foster parents. God also spoke to our hearts to be the voice of the fatherless.
We attended our first Orphan Sunday event where our eyes were opened to the global orphan crisis as well as the American foster care crisis. After hearing about it and hearing what the Bible has to say about it, we sprung into action.
We started off simple. We started off with 3 people and prayed. We prayed for our local foster care system. We prayed for the social workers, the caseworkers, the judges involved. We prayed for the foster parents and for the biological families.
We have a small group at our church now that was launched shortly after that first Orphan Sunday event. And this is just a collection of families who've adopted, who fostered. We've been involved in all sorts of community projects, and it really kind of came out of that first Orphan Sunday.
There are so many things, I can't even tell you all of them, that God has done with one day. Because of one day that our church observed Orphan Sunday, 2 children were adopted into one family, and those children are no longer orphans. They're sons and daughters. So hey, I want to encourage you to encourage your church to get involved with Orphan Sunday. It can change a life.
Whatever you do in your church, big thing, small thing, if it's just showing the video and saying a prayer, it's going to raise the awareness.
There should not be a young person, a boy or a girl, anywhere in the world, anywhere in America that needs a mom and dad, someone to tuck them in at night, someone to love them. We can make this happen on Orphan Sunday. I encourage you, please, be part of the solution.
Morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's good to see you all here. I'm glad you're here. You're here for a reason. And hopefully when you leave today, you'll understand what that reason is. I don't necessarily know what that reason may be, but if you've seen this event advertised anywhere, you've seen it was "Remember the Children" was our tagline for this event. And when Missions Board came to us and asked they wanted to do something on this particular Sunday for orphans, we incorporated Orphan Sunday into today. So you notice the date here is November 12th is the actual national kind of push towards orphan awareness. However, we're going to make that our day today. So just a couple of things that I want to share with you, and this is taken from the Christian Alliance for Orphans. If they have been the main advocate for Orphan Sunday, starting it in 2002, have pushed it into a national footprint, but just taken from their website and the research they've done, estimated global orphans worldwide is about 140 million. Of those, there's 15.1 million who are a double orphan, meaning they've lost both mom and dad and have no one particularly. There's approximately somewhere between 2 and 8 million, and it's really hard to judge that number because of the way they're living. You can't find these kids, but they're living on the streets or they're in a residential care facility, meaning an orphanage or something like that. So you've all heard of Watoto, those types of things. Those programs are pulling these kids off the streets, the double orphans, and trying to give them a chance. As far as here locally, and you'll hear a little bit more about the impact of what one family can do, but here later this morning, but in the foster care system, this is in the United States, there's 427,000 or so kids in the foster care system. There's 111,000 children that are ready to be adopted in that number. So they are literally waiting for someone to say, "I'll take you and I'll give you a home." There's approximately a 20-month wait for a child or that's the average care in foster care, so the 20 months. There's going to be, as of 2015, now we're a couple years, I'm sure this number has grown, or maybe not, but it's 20,000 that will actually age out of the system, meaning they'll age out and have no home. They won't have a family per se because they don't have anyone. And well, this is just the United States. The average child waiting to be adopted is 7.6 years old. So they're over 7 years old. That's the average age. So you've got older children, younger children, babies, whatnot. Here's a real good statistic. The number of caring adults it takes to make a change in this is one. One person can make a change. This morning we've got two speakers, one representative from World Vision. We're going to have Chris Byler come up. World Vision is a advocate for orphan care around the world, and we're going to let him share a little bit about what he does. He has a booth in the back, and then I will introduce the bishop.
Good morning. I am Chris Byler. I'm a child ambassador for World Vision. World Vision is the largest Christian relief and development organization in the world. World Vision comes alongside communities and churches in almost 100 countries to help tackle the root causes of poverty and injustice. And part of the way they do this is through child sponsorship. About 8 years ago, God gave my wife and I a heart for helping children in need. So we started sponsoring a child in Liberia, Africa. We now sponsor a total of 7 children, and it has been such a blessing to see how much of a difference we can make in a child's life. Sponsorship is not just about sending someone money every month. It's really about building a relationship. You can build a relationship with your sponsored child through letters, emails, and even sharing pictures. When you sponsor a child through World Vision, you enable children to enjoy good health, spiritual nurture, and protection. You will support families and community leaders in building a healthy environment for children to grow, thrive, and reach their God-given potential. You will also help an entire community to be transformed and become self-sustaining in just 15 years. It is transformational for both the child and the sponsor. If you have any questions or would like to sponsor a child, my wife and I will be at a table in the back. And for $39 a month, you can choose a child to sponsor that will change their life and yours. I have 9 child picture folders, and I would like to see if I could get 9 people to step up and say, I want to help a child in need and sponsor one of these children. We also have a laptop that you'll have a link you can go to online and choose a child to sponsor. Thanks, and God bless you.
All right, thanks, Chris. The one song we sang this morning, it was No Longer a Slave to Fear, I'm a Child of God. How many would you say you are a child of God this morning? Raise your hand if you, yeah. Okay. Do you realize you have been adopted into the family of God? Adoption is a picture of what Christ did for us. And I really believe it's really close to the heart of God. God had a special, and especially Jesus when he walked on the earth, had a special attachment to children. And so when we remember the children this morning, you're going to hear a story from Bishop Martin of how his church made a change and made an impact. And today, you all may not be called to do an adoption or foster care or something, but it's also in Scripture that says pure religion is what Christ would say is taking care of the widows and the orphans. So I believe that as a Christian this morning, we also, though, have a duty to do something. And so hopefully you're moved to action this morning. And we're going to watch a short video of a little bit of the background of Bishop Martin, and then I'm going to let him tell his story.
Back now at 8:44 with the kickoff of our annual series, Getting to the Heart of Christmas. This morning, a remarkable Texas town called Possum Trot, where people decided that despite their own hard times, they still had more to give. NBC's Craig Melvin recently visited there. Craig, good morning to you.
Good morning. You heard us right. Possum Trot. That's the name of the town. And it might make you chuckle for a second, but once you hear its story, you will never forget this small town, because what Possum Trot lacks in size, it more than makes up for in heart. Possum Trot, Texas. A town so tiny there are no stoplights or street names. A town so poor, the food bank has been closed for months. You might even think this town in the piney woods of East Texas has nothing left to give, but you would be wrong. How many children have been adopted to the church?
76.
16 years ago at Bennett Chapel Baptist Church, this congregation was down on its luck. They decided to make a change. Instead of asking for help, they decided to give it.
Your failure don't have to be your destiny, because you can change it.
And for Bishop W.C. Martin and his wife Donna, that change was recognizing there were those far worse off, and in many cases, they were children.
It's not a whole lot that we have to offer children right here in Possum Trot, but love, peace, and joy, and happiness. We can offer them that.
So they passed on a challenge to their congregation, asking everyone who could to provide a loving home for children in need. I would imagine the blessing has not been without struggle.
The challenge with the kids is not them really trusting the love that you have to give them unconditional.
Many of these children are victims of neglect and abuse.
Yes, some of them was beaten and molested by family members, just most horrible things.
Josh, how was your day?
The Martins have adopted 4 children themselves, and are just one of 25 families in Possum Trot who have adopted foster children. Ricky and Dorothy Cartwright have expanded their family with 5 children, who they clearly dote on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The love is evident, and so are the challenges. Ricky took 2 extra jobs so Dorothy could stay home with the kids, and some of the children still struggle with their past.
My other mom hated me. That's why she gave us away. And every day I think about that. Why did she give me away? A change is coming. Change is coming.
For many of these children, the past will always be a part of them, but they prefer to look to the future. For the Lathan family, the future is a little more uncertain. Teresa Lathan and her husband Glenn have taken in 11 children over the years, but 2 years ago, Teresa fell sick with lupus. It almost seems like it went from you taking care of all of these kids to now
they taking care of me.
Her children echo the love they have for her.
Ain't no telling where we'd be if it wasn't for her.
So weak now, Teresa speaks in a whisper until she wants to make sure she is heard. When you look back on it, do you have any regrets?
No, I don't.
Regret is not something you find a lot of in Possum Trot, but there are a lot of bills.
Our financial struggles, they're devastating, but you can't bring these kids into your home and not prepare them for their future.
But today, Walmart has a surprise for this community to help that future. You guys excited? Yeah! You ready? You ready? All right. I want you to take a look down the street. We have a special delivery. We had to get a truck as big as the heart that you guys have. First order of business was to supply enough food to reopen the food bank and donation center, and that was just the beginning. How many kids again have been adopted to the church?
76.
25 families?
25 families.
All right, let's bring in the carts. Walmart supplied every family with a cart of fresh groceries and a $500 gift certificate. But wait, there's more.
Now give me a card.
We wanted to make sure every child had a very Merry Christmas. So, from the smallest to the tallest, there's a gift over there under the tree. As the children opened their gifts, there was one more surprise for the couple that started it all.
Walmart was inspired by your story. So not only do we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, but we wanted to give you a happier and healthier year to come. So we're giving you $15,000 in Walmart gift cards.
Why the tears? Why the tears?
It's just amazing. It's just a blessing.
You've never been a man of few words.
This is like a prayer being answered, that we have prayed so hard for something, for God to do something.
There is a saying that the Lord may not come when you want him, but he always come on time. And just thank you, Walmart. We'll never look at y'all the same.
It is worth noting that of the 76 children who have been adopted in Possum Tribe over the last 16 years, none of them have dropped out of high school, and most are honor roll students with college ambitions. Savannah Guthrie.
You got us crying this morning, Craig, but they're good tears.
Yeah, and that community, it's just a fantastically special place, too.
Wow.
Possum Trot, Texas.
Yeah, I'm thinking you might be able to run for mayor there right about now. Craig Melvin, thank you.
And this Christmas will be